Hello guys, welcome to Filament Daily. Today let's talk about Wizard for longer forms, and I will show you how you can save the draft of the record when someone fills in the first step of the wizard automatically. Because by default the record is saved and submitted only after the last step of the wizard, which may be quite a long time. And this idea came from my other video. So on this channel I had a few videos about Wizard, and for example Filament long form Wizard was a comparison between sections, tabs, and Wizard. If you haven't seen that video, I will link that in the description below, but we're using the same form as in that video, create employee with a lot of steps, roughly 50 fields in total. And let me show you first how it works, and then we'll dive into the code. So if we try to go to the first step and don't fill anything, then the validation will fire. So next, and the validation says that something is missing. But if we fill those fields in successfully, okay, seems okay, and I click next, and I land on the second step, and now look at the database. In the database table of employees, we don't have anything, but if we refresh, we have our first record. So I didn't click submit, I didn't submit that form, it's still in progress, but you can call it a draft. So a new record is saved with only some columns present, only the ones that were actually filled. Everything else is null, null, null until someone fills in the second step. For example, let's try to fill in the address and state. Next, and let's see, the database is that address and state should be here. We refresh and we have the data updated for the same record. Now, how does it work in the code? The idea is relatively simple. As with many things in Filament, you need to just know in which place to add which small part of the code. So in the create page of that resource, we have wizard, so has wizard, and then we have step make, and schema comes from another function which is inside of the resource, which is this one. It could be inline here as well, but to be able to reuse that in the create and edit page, that's from previous video, I've refactored those into functions. And this is the main thing that you need to know. Let's remove that DD from testing. So yeah, after validation, which means when the validation is successful, we get the data from the full form and we create this get model, or you can hard code the model like employee. You create the object of that model, the eloquent model, with data parameter, means all the form fields, and then you save the record. That's it. By this point, the record is in the database. And then on the other steps, it's almost the same, just record update data. We get the state and we update, same for all the other steps. So only on the first step we need to create that model and save the data with record save. Everything else, record update. You can of course get more creative here and introduce like is draft or is published or status draft or something like that, and then save those records and show those records somewhere separately in the table of drafts. So as usual, I show you the main idea and you adapt it to your Filament projects. What do you think? Would you have done anything differently, or maybe you know other trick to achieve the same thing? Let's discuss in the comments below. That's it for this time, and see you guys in other videos.